Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about IDP IELTS. In this presentation, the agenda for today is what is IELTS, why IELTS, IELTS test format, and IDP support for IELTS test takers. What is IELTS? IELTS is an international English language testing system which is focusing on the proficiency of English language of the candidate. Over 10,000 organizations worldwide accept IELTS results. Government of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the UK use IELTS for migration purposes. Employers, universities, professional registration bodies worldwide, including the USA, accept IELTS results. The key facts and figures of IELTS: over 3 million tests of IELTS were taken in 2019. IELTS is available in more than 140 countries. IELTS results are accepted by more than 3,000 institutions and programs in the US. IDP IELTS offers the test in more than 200 locations globally. Why IELTS? It sets the tasks to measure communicative skills, unique set of test questions every time, consistent level of difficulty wherever the test is taken in 140 countries, a variety of questions, not just multiple choice, high level of security protocols and fair marking system. The test is available and recognized globally. The benefit of IELTS for students who are planning to study abroad: it is an internationally recognized brand to prove your English proficiency level. IELTS has heavily invested in extensive research and development to ensure it meets the needs of all the stakeholders. More career and academic options compared to those without the IELTS, leading to better and more opportunities. Short, high stakes English test duration compared to others. Interactive, especially the face to face speaking test component compared to other high stake English tests. The certificate of IELTS is valid for 2 years from the date of the test. It is the world's most recognized test, globally recognized by more than 10,000 organizations. Now, the under of umbrella of IELTS at IDP Education, we have IELTS Academic and General Training and IELTS for UKVI. Now, IELTS Academic and General Training applicable for all the test candidates, designed to assess the language ability of candidates who need to study or work where English is the language of communication. IELTS for UKVI, Academic and General Training. Now, this is designed for candidates who intend to study in the UK below degree level. It applies to those who will need pre-seasonal English or additional year of foundation study. We will be going through the IELTS test formats. As I mentioned to you that this is just testing the proficiency of the English, so there is no pass or fail markings. However, it is divided into the band system, where 1 being non-user and the 9 being expert user. To complete the IELTS test and to get your results, you'll have to complete 4 components of IELTS test. One is the listening, which is about 30 minutes to do with 4 sections, 40 questions to be covered. And then they give you 10 minutes at the end to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. You will only hear the recording once. In the reading, there is a 60 minutes reading test with no additional time to transfer answers. Total of 3 sections, which needs to be like 40 questions at about 2,150 to 2,750 words total. Moving to the writing, it's a 60 minutes test where they are asked to write 2 essays, which is divided into task 1 and task 2. Task 1 is about minimum 150 words and task 2 is minimum 250 words. Then the speaking, 11 to 14 minutes, which covers 3 parts. The first part is introduction, which is 4 to 5 minutes. The second part is individual long turn, which is 3 to 4 minutes. And the third one is two-way discussion, which is 4 to 5 minutes. IELTS listening, you will listen to 4 recordings of native English speakers and then write your answers to a series of questions. So while you're listening to the recording, you'll be given a question booklet where you will be writing the answers in the question booklet next to each question. In the recording one, you will be hearing a conversation between two people set in an everyday social context. Recording two will be a monologue set in an everyday social context, a speech about local festivities. Now, recording three is a conversation between up to four people set in an educational or training context. For example, a university tutor and a student discussing an assignment. In the recording four, it's a monologue on an academic subject, example, a university lecture. The time which is allotted for the test is about 30 minutes and plus 10 minutes for you to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Number of questions you need to complete is 40. The task types is a variety of question types are used, chosen from the following, which is multiple choice, matching, plan, map, diagram labeling, form, note, table, flowchart, summary completion, sentence completion. Answering would be the test takers write their answers on the question paper as they listen, and at the end of the test, they are given 10 minutes to transfer their answers to an answer sheet. Please note, writing answers on the answer sheet has poor spelling and grammar are penalized. The marks allocated for each is 1 mark. This is a sample question where you will be reading the questions first. They will give you appropriate time to read the questions before the recordings are being played. And if you see the place is provided next to each question where you will be writing the answers. And at the end of the test, you'll be transferring these answers to the answer sheet. Moving to the IELTS reading. IELTS reading is also for 60 minutes. The reading section consists of 40 questions designed to test a wide range of reading skills. These includes reading of gist, reading for main ideas, reading for detail, skimming, understanding logical argument, and recognizing writers' opinions, attitudes, and purpose. In the IELTS academic test, there are 3 long texts which range from descriptive and factual to the discursive and analytical. These are taken from books, journals, magazines, and newspapers. They have been selected for a non-specialist audience, but are appropriate for people entering university courses or seeking professional registration. These are the sample paper. So they'll give you passages like this where you'll have to read the passage, and then there'll be questions below the passage where you'll be reading the passage and answering those questions. Moving to the IELTS writing. IELTS writing test format is for 60 minutes where you are given 2 tasks to complete. The topics are of general interest to and suitable for test takers entering undergraduate and postgraduate studies or seeking professional registration. The tasks are: task 1, you will be presented with a graph, table, chart, or diagram and asked to describe, summarize, or explain the information in your own words. You may be asked to describe and explain data, describe the stages of a process, how something works, or describe an object or event. In the task 2, you'll be asked to write an essay in response to a point of view, argument, or a problem. Responses to both the tasks must be in formal style. These are the sample papers where in task 1, they ask you to spend about 20 minutes on the task 1, and you should spend about 40 minutes on task 2 because task 2 is worth more marks. In the IELTS speaking, the test format for speaking is it gives you 11 to 14 minutes to complete the test, where you will have an interview with an examiner. The speaking section assesses your use of spoken English. Every test is recorded, so there will be a recorder in your test room with the examiner. In the 11 to 14 minutes, you will be asked to complete 3 parts. In the part 1, the examiner will ask you general questions about yourself and a range of familiar topics such as home, family, work, studies, and interests. This part lasts between 4 to 5 minutes. In the part 2, you will be given a card which asks you to talk about a particular topic. You will have 1 minute to prepare before speaking for up to 2 minutes. The examiner will then ask one or two questions on the same topic. In the part 3, you will be asked further questions about the topic in part 2. These will give you the opportunity to discuss more abstract ideas and issues. This part of the test lasts between 4 to 5 minutes. IELTS speaking description. The speaking test consists of an oral interview between the test takers and an examiner. All speaking tests are recorded. The timing will be allotted is 11 to 14 minutes. The task types, there are 3 parts to the test and each part fulfills a specific function in terms of interaction pattern, task input and task takers output. What does IDP gives as a support for IELTS test takers in terms of the planning and preparation? As soon as you register for the test, you will be given free practice material which gives you an access for 30 days where you can practice on one of the components. Also, you will be receiving a countdown to IELTS where an IELTS expert will talk about tips and tricks of how to do the IELTS test. We also have IELTS support tools which can be viewed on idpielts.me. Now, the IDP support on the day of the test is professional staff to help you with the registration, personal headphones for listening test with adjustable volume, pencils, erasers, and sharpeners are provided on the day of the test. IDP support after the test is after 13 days from the test date, you will be getting an SMS which talks about your provisional scores, and you can also view the results online. Please feel free to contact us for any queries at ielts.dubai@idp.com. Thank you.